Yeah, back here.
My question is that we have a problem in Hungary that homeschooling became forbidden. Forbidden, that the law doesn't let the parents to practice homeschooling. I don't know how is it here today. And the question, what would you suggest in this case? There are some ways that are not really clear, let's say so. And that's what they try to do. Some families, they travel abroad, but what to do? And some, of course, they try to find the best public school, which makes us sad, of course, because we do believe that that's the worst solution.
Right. Good question. Yeah. I cannot speak too much about the situation in Hungary. I always make it a point whenever I go to a country to understand the laws of that area, but I've not done a seminar in Hungary yet, so I don't know. But I am somewhat familiar with similar situations, and I will say that there are often loopholes. The one country which there is no loophole yet is Germany. Completely impossible. But even, for example, here in Romania, it is somewhat illegal, but if you use an umbrella school, you can find a way around it. Technically, it's neither legal or illegal. Yeah. So, again, in my experience in dealing with the legal situation around the world, the first thing to do is to really understand the law. Because a lot of times there's some ideas about what it is and what it isn't, but when you go and look at the law, you find what the true situation is. And you might find a way around it. For example, there was a country, I don't remember which one, and it was illegal to homeschool unless you lived a certain distance away from a school. Okay, go move to the country a long ways away from a school, you can homeschool. And so I'm just giving it as an example. Now, as you know the law, then you seek for creative ways to meet those demands. There's often the option of an accreditation from abroad. There may be the option of living a certain amount of time outside of the country, and that gives you the freedom to homeschool. Then there's the option to move. And I say that, and some people just smile and think, oh, that's a crazy idea. But, to reference the talk I gave a couple of nights ago, when we understand this controversy, we understand the purposes of the false system of education. How it's not the way it is by accident. And it is intentionally designed to work against our purposes as Christian parents. And when we start to understand how solemn it is, we're going to be willing to make some sacrifices. Might mean moving. And then as a last resort, well, before I get there, is to find a private school option that allows the parents to work together with the school, where the parents say, okay, to meet the requirements of the law, my children are going to be part of this school, but I'm going to be there every day. And so you're doing your best to homeschool, but you're meeting those requirements. And then an absolute last resort, I'm not recommending it, I'm just the public school option. Yes. I knew a family who was in a communist country 25, 30 years ago, and when their young people... and they had two young people who were very strong spiritually. And I asked them, I said, I don't think you homeschooled, did you? No, unfortunately, we didn't have that option. But they said what we did, every single moment our children were out of school, we were together. When they got home, we talked through every detail of their day in school. Every weekend, we were together. We knew everything that was going on in their lives. We had a close relationship. It took a lot of sacrifice, a lot of work. But I believe that the Lord took that they were doing the best they could, and He blessed that. Again, I'm not saying I would recommend that, because I think public schools are even worse now than they were 30 years ago. But I have seen one thing in my experience in speaking with families and talking with young people. The Lord honors sacrifice. When parents are willing to do anything for the salvation of their children, to move, to quit a job, to whatever it is, then the Lord honors that sacrifice. We serve a merciful and powerful God. Amen.